got like a whole like setup. He's got a giant microphone.
It's just by default, guys. It's
when you've got that
even the voice sounds so
it's the,
like the
it's
radio
this.
voice.
Yeah, it's the
also the microphone
in the morning. It's the first word I've spoken today.
Good. Oh, well, I'm honored.
At the end of the podcast, the pitch will go up.
You'll get more excited as we go. And as the caffeine and the coffee starts to take hold.
Kick in, I know.
And you guys want to see a better open shirt than they gave us in the open?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is?
Let's see.
Who gave you that?
I love that.
Avenger. That's awesome.
CrossFit Avenger. Got a little Pukey the Clown outline on there.
Yeah, my OG people. We made open shirts.
Well, speaking of the open, we're live and we're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk all things open.
I want to clip that first part.
There we go.
All right. Well, if you're joining us, we've got Chase Ingraham, Nicole Christensen on joining us today. Little background on our two guests. Chase, co-host of Talking Elite Fitness.
No.
Get with the programming.
Get with programming. Sorry, get with the programming.
And the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, this is what happens when I do a quick chat GTP right before, which, by the way, Nicole, former affiliate owner, is what chat GTP told me. But luckily, I know the truth, and I know that's not true. So
that's the lesson of the day. Don't trust chat.
Yeah, don't trust it. Don't trust it. You always got to fact check. But
trust the robot.
I do know for sure that Chase, former affiliate owner, former CrossFit seminar staff, games athlete.
A lot of formers there.
A lot of former, but current.
That used to be something special.
Current coach,
amazing,
highly involved in the CrossFit community, the CrossFit Games. Love the podcast. We're going to talk all things open with Chase and Nicole, seminar staff, Flow Master, and then current founder and owner of CrossFit Roots in Boulder, Colorado. We want to start off, guys, by just asking you, is it true you both are 15-year CrossFit Open competitors? Is that right?
Well, if you include what I've already signed up for, this year will be 16.
This year will be 16.
I'll be 16 this year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So 15 years, you too, Todd, right?
Yes. Yeah. Have you guys both entered scores every single year for every single workout?
There's been one or two.
Yeah. No, because in the middle of 2012, I had shoulder surgery.
Okay.
So I did.
I have one
and got cut open the next week.
Ooh. Yeah. I did one where it started with toes to bar and I was like 6 months pregnant. So I did one toes to bar.
Nice.
To get a score. And then I scaled the rest of the workout and just did it. But I
still got your score in.
I still got my score in. Yeah.
I think it was last year when we were talking, Kristen, that I was thinking about that. Is like, I don't know how many people have done every open workout and then entered scores, because inevitably, like, somebody forgets to put a score in or whatever.
I've forgotten to put a score in once. Luckily, it was the last workout of the series. And it was a couple years ago. I had injured my back. And it was a rowing double under. And I just remember sitting on the rower and just like very easily rowing just to get like a couple calories on there. And then I could put that in. Similar to your toast bar. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be curious to know, what are some of you guys' most memorable open moments just in general, or things about the open in general? Chase, I'd love to hear your thoughts there.
One of the worst ones I ever put myself through, I think it was 16-1. Was that the one with the overhead walking lunges with the barbell?
Yes. I will tell you.
It was like chest to bar pull-ups, overhead walking lunge, burpees with the bar, overhead walking lunge, 20 minutes. I think it was 16-1. So that day I decided to do it. It was like the end of, I always do this January personal challenge of like, I don't drink, I don't eat sugar, and I don't do refined carbohydrate. Like it just no to everything. And that day was the day that it was like my check-in day. And I was like, I wanted to kill it. I was like, I want to see what my body fat is, and I want to see what I weigh. And I was like, you know what I shouldn't do is I shouldn't eat today. I should really just try to like inflate these numbers to a degree that's ridiculous. So that's what I did. And then I did that open workout immediately following that. And when I say that I didn't get off the ground for an hour afterwards is I didn't get off the ground. I didn't even bother to move where I was. I just totally derailed the rest of Friday Night Lights and just laid in the middle of my gym.
You had to remove a lane?
Yeah, we had 3 lanes. We had like 102 people. I took up 33% of the lanes and just laid there for an hour looking at the ceiling, wondering or pondering my life choices to that moment in time. So yeah, 16-1 messed me up to a degree. Self-inflicted, obviously, but I will never forget that feeling.
What's your most memorable, Nicole? Do you have one?
I don't know. There's like lots of memorable events and things over the years. When you started talking about workouts, do you remember when 7 minutes of burpee got smashed together with the progressively heavier snatch workout that year?
Yeah.
I think that was when I was like, I just had this like moment where I was like, who are these people in the world that can do this? Like, it was just like, I considered myself pretty fit. I think we were still going to regionals then as a team, like, stuff like that. And that workout, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a negative thing. It was more just this like sense of like, where are these scores coming from?
Yeah.
Because that workout was, I mean, now it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but at the time I felt like it was very like level setting of like, okay, this is what it looks like to be a well-rounded athlete, to be able to, snatch more than 65-pound barbell, stuff like that. It was definitely a rude and a necessary awakening. But that one definitely comes to mind. I actually was at a seminar. We retested it, and I just remember being like, we're going to do this in front of people.
Yeah, God, that's a hell of one to retest.
Yeah.
Like 210 and like 145 or something like that for the women.
It was, yes, it went like 65, 85, maybe it was like 85 and didn't go quite to 95.
70, it might have been 55 for women because I think it's 75
for the guys to
135. Right to 135.
135, and then like 165, and then like 215.
Yeah. 165 is all I got. I saw 210. I was like, yeah, right. And then I saw videos. I was like, oh shit, maybe it's time to retire, boys. What
was the best about that for me is like, especially for myself, it's like I think my max at that time was like 170. Yeah. But of course, getting ready for the workout, I've got all the weights over
plates,
there.
Right?
All right, when I get through 165, what do I need to add to do the 210? Like I've got any shot at this thing. It was like at that time I had like a 12-minute Isabel time. I'm like,
that's so true.
Chance
you're like, okay, but people would egg you on too. They'd be like, well, but like, what if you get there? Like, you got to have the plates out, and you're like, okay, yeah, like I'll get them out, and you just got like looped into this. Yeah, magic of the open.
Yeah.
In the moment, I'm going to set a PR after nearly like doing 99% of my previous max for 30 reps.
But you hear stories though, right? Like you heard a story of like that one person that last year they went and they did PR their snatch in the last 12 seconds by 20 pounds. And you're like, maybe that's me this year.
It might be,
might be me. Why not?
Gotta believe,
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe. Oh, so good.
Yeah. I was the opposite. I was like, don't waste your time.
That was me too. Like people would be pulling the other plates over to help me set my station up. I'm like, I'm not going to need those. And same thing. Like, you never know. I'm like, no, I do know. And I'm not going to need them. But thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Totally.
It's so impressive always to me how much we all remember so many details about these workouts from like 2013, and also just Chase, you so quickly being able to be like, oh yeah, it was 16.2, that was 13.1, that was 19.4.
It's called a sickness because
right,
that type of recall, no problem. If my wife asked me if I remembered to do something earlier that morning, gone. Like,
but if you want to know the third workout in 2017 of the Open, and your score,
everyone has their strengths,
Every open workout I ever did. When my kid has learning reading later, no idea, right? And that's today, and he's been doing it for a year. So,
Oh no.
You can only level everything up. You get like 100 points to build your character. 99 of mine are in CrossFit. And then the other one is spread out over the course of 10 other things that I need to do.
I didn't know that was a thing. I got to learn about that.
It's your NBA Street character sheet. It's like you get points.
Okay.
So good. Well, we're going to talk a bit today. We're not going to spend the whole hour reminiscing about old
I could.
open
What?
workouts.
I thought that's what we were doing.
We could.
I
I
could.
know. I think that we could. But we want to talk about the 2026 Open. And we're going to dive into that a little bit. So, Todd, I think you were telling me you had a question for Chase right off the bat.
Yeah, just in general, why does the Open still matter? I think
the Open, I mean, because we're living, breathing human beings that have a thirst to be better than how we were when we woke up this morning, right? And the only way we can manifest that is through the act of things that we don't think we can do. Talking about snatching 210, I would rather live a life of thinking I can do it, not being able to, than just
hell yeah.
Even though I
second that,
even though I just said don't bring that weight over here, I'm not getting it today. That said, is that the thing I love about the Open the most is that because it and I use this term very endearingly, is that it forces me to look at myself in a way that I try to avoid 362 other days out of the year, other than the 3 days I do the Open workout. That's a lie. I redo them. So make it
the 6 days, 9 days that you do them 3 times.
That would have been a great Sunday opening question. How many times have you repeated?
Yeah, I love the redo life. But I think it's a very important piece of the puzzle when it comes to training. So when I first started doing CrossFit, for me, it was always like, oh, I'm just getting in shape, right? Like I'm trying to get stronger and I'm trying to, learn how to do this, or this is fun and this is fresh. But I never understood like why I was really doing it. I was trying to I think everybody needs to find their why. And the first time the light bulb came on is when I just did a local fun throwdown competition where I was exposed in ways I was like, oh, I can't choose not to do that today because I have to do that today. So when I force myself to do it, I've learned so much more about myself and why I do the certain things I do in the gym. Now, and the second to that is like, I don't think anything you do in the gym should be the only thing you do. I think the things we do in the gym is so we can do everything else. And the Open is a great time to learn those things that can help in the day-to-day training, which also manifests in your everyday life. And the Open is the perfect time to just like force you into that cage that we all try to fight against to begin with. So from a very, I would say, like competitive looking lens is just, that's where I look through it, but that's where I like other people to, because you don't walk into a CrossFit gym, even if you come 2 days a week and you think you're like, oh, I can't do that. If you're not a competitive person naturally, you might not think that internally, because CrossFit's hard. It's a hard thing. We do CrossFit because we like to do hard things, even when we don't like to do hard things, but it's the one thing that separates us from everybody else. And I love that about us, right? It's Forge Elite Fitness for a reason. We do hard shit. And the hard shit we do makes us harder human beings, which just makes us better human beings at the end of the day. And the Open is the perfect time to force people into it and realize it's not that bad. It's super fun.
And it's crazy how much it matters when you have to put your score out there.
Yeah.
And even though no one's searching the leaderboard for my name, I can guarantee you that. But for whatever reason, me having to type this in or put in that score, I'm like, oh, I bet everybody right after they look up Jason Hopper's score, I bet they're looking for me, seeing where I'm at next. It's like nobody cares.
They just have to respell it 16 different times before they.
There's a good chance that you're not going to figure it out. There's a good chance.
Is it the U, the I, the U?
Yeah,
that's the power of the whiteboard in the gym. I would write down every person's name and their score and their scale against their will, even if they wanted to, because like, well, the 6 p.m. is like, nobody gives a shit about your score. You do. And now that it's on the board, you care more, which means you'll try harder the next day. That's it. Nobody else cares.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot. Like I think in the world right now, people are, you hear this a lot, like I'm searching for community or they want connection and stuff. And I think when I think about the Open, like when I think about CrossFit, like it makes us uncomfortable. It challenges us to do hard things. And like you guys are saying, it does publicly expose, right, our successes and our failures. And that's our culture. And that's what we do. Like that's what makes the community that everybody loves, right? And so I just think of the Open as like a natural extension of that. Like if you want to be part of this community, like this is what we do. you didn't come here for like, you know, to be like patted on the back and be like, oh, you're fit enough, wherever you are is good. Like, and I just think it's like, I don't know, I think of it as like this greater extension of like, comfort is like this root of all evil, that everybody's always trying to like find ways to not be comfortable because they know that like that's kind of what leads us to, you know, maybe not feeling the way that we want to. And then we hear this like overuse of the word community. And it's like, no, the open is literally like the extension of the thing that people are searching for. And I think when you talk about like, Chase, like putting people's, you know, scores on the board. Yeah, we still have a actual whiteboard and we write it up. And yes, that uncomfortable moment where you think that everybody cares about your score is part of our culture, and it's part of like why people get the results and stuff. And I don't know, the open to me has always just been like this really nice extension of all of that. And I don't know, I probably get a little bit you know, too over the top about it, but it's like, yeah, you want to be part of this community? Like, this is what we do. We do the open.
Do the thing.
Like, if you want a safe space that you don't have to like be uncomfortable or put yourself out there or whatever, like there's lots of other gyms, and see what your results are like. Mm-hmm. But maybe, I don't know, that's kind of where I get to.
No, it's the perfect feedback loop for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And then you get to spend the next year like building off of that.
Yeah.
It's this, I look at it like on, sorry, Nicole, I look at it being on staff, right? Like the feedback we would get at the end of the weekend, the feedback I would get from Nicole was like the greatest I would ever have. Like she would push me harder than any flow master I'd ever worked with. And it made me better. And that's what the open is. It's the perfect feedback loop. It's the, hey, listen, this is why you were bad at that. This is how you can get better at that. Where else can you find where someone will just be so blatantly open and honest with you in the most caring way in the world? Because the best coach I ever had in my life, I was in high school. I just started swimming. And I mean, just started swimming. I was like 15. I'd done like fun summer leagues with my brothers, but I'm 15 swimming with kids who've been swimming year round since they were 5. I'm getting my ass handed to me in the workout because I'm not good. And my coach is just railing on me. And so finally I just get out of the pool. It's like, why are you so hard on me? Because I am trying harder than everybody here. He's like, the day I stop yelling at you or coaching you is the day I stop caring about you. And I was like, holy shit. Done.
Totally.
Like, I was like, now I will swim to a wall for you. Right. But that's what it is. Right. And so like, if someone can be so caring about you, like Nicole after a level 1, and give me the most honest feedback. And I'm not saying wash my feet, pat my back, and say a good job. It's like, hey, listen, this is where you can improve. I know you want to be better. I care about you so much that I will tell you the hard truth so you can get better. And then we can all enjoy the next step forward. That's the open. Oh, I suck at double. And it's like, yeah, do you want to have an honest conversation of why you suck at double? I can't do pull-ups. Do you want to have an honest conversation of why you can't do pull-ups? Because after this conversation and you get better and you get your first pull-up next year, imagine the relationship we're going to have as the coach and the athlete, and imagine the relationship you're going to have with CrossFit. Because now you did the thing, you stepped into the fire, you saw yourself succeed, and now you can take that to the next thing you don't think you can do.
Well, and I think what's interesting too about all of that is like, you know, it's relative to everybody. I think every member walks into the gym and they're like, well, I'm just nervous to put my scores in. How many times have you heard that? And that never goes away. You think that Jason Hopper's not sitting there being like, okay, all right, you know, like
everybody else did, right?
How everybody else did. Like that's
but people are actually looking at his score though. That's the difference.
Well, that's the difference. Fair enough there. But real or perceived, everybody, right? Yeah. We have these common things that whether you're like brand new to CrossFit or whether you've been doing it a decade in, a lot of these things that people express as like why they're nervous to do the open, like they're not special. Like those are everybody feels them. And that's not, I think that's the other part is like, that's not a bad thing. Remember the whole thing about like, I don't know, it's like the 2013, 14, 15 era where everyone was like, you know, like it's too competitive and, you know, like people redo their workouts and like, it was like, those are digs. What's that?
People like hide their scores. They wait till like
yeah, like all of it. And it's like, we got to this place where we started, it's like we had to combat these things of why you should do the open as if they were bad things to begin with, rather than just being like, yeah, that's sport, that's life. That's like, I always joke about it. Yeah, I don't know if this would resonate with you, Chase, but like, one of the most uncomfortable places for me is like a parent school thing.
Oh,
Like, you want to talk about being uncomfortable? I'm just always like, okay, like it's just not it like literally brings out all the things. And it's like, no, this isn't just the open. This is like so many other areas in your life. And it's like, this is just another place for it, But I don't know. A lot of those reasons, I think we spend a lot of time combating them when it's just like, it could be answered with like, yeah, you and everybody else.
Yeah.
You're not special.
I have, this isn't a hot take. This is just a position I take these days. Cause as I get older, I care less about people's feelings. Is that if I have to convince you to do this, then I don't really want to spend time bothering to convince you to do this. And to a certain level, right? It's like, I'm out. Tell me why I should do it. I was like, no.
Yeah, you either do it or you don't.
Like,
Which that's
right.
I just don't have the time to waste for that attitude. If it's like, I'm really nervous, I need help.
Yeah.
Like, sure, we can have that conversation. But if you sit back and like, tell me why I should waste $20.
Convince me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What
Like,
or I'm going to do the workouts anyways. I'm just not going to do them and put them in the thing. And it's like, and that's the same thing. And what's funny about that is my belief is that the root cause is the exact same thing that you just said. I'm really nervous. And so I'm not sure if I should do this, but instead of being honest with themselves, it turns into the other thing of like, this is stupid. I don't need to do that. I'm going to do the workouts anyways. I can, what's it matter?
I'll have that conversation with the nervous, like the person who's just like, I'm afraid to put myself out there. I just need some help and I need some coaching, right? I'm not here to change people's minds in that. I do that. My favorite thing that Boz would ever do to me is he's like, hey, are you in or you're out?
Right.
Yep.
No context. No, like
in or out for what? Doesn't matter. Are you in or are you out? Well, what are we doing? Nope. You've got to answer.
Got this calf thing.
Yeah. No, that's
are you in or you out?
Open. Are you in?
Always in. The answer is always in.
Yeah, you're right. The answer is always in. Because like, what's there? I have never regretted signing up for the Open in a year, ever. I've never finished the Open and be like, man, that sucked. I really hated that I do that. I could be like, man,
I think it sucked. I don't hate that I did it. It always sucks, but
it always sucks. But like, that's like Nicole said, is like, there is no safe space in life. The only thing you can do is make yourself safe in the life that you live, because by building confidence, building fitness, building discipline, like those things are the things that make you safe. There's nothing safe in this world. There's nothing safe in sports. And that's the best damn thing about all of it. I have no idea what is going to happen in the middle of this podcast, right? But what I can do is like, I can at least walk around through life knowing I've prepared myself the best way possible, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And we get all those things inside the CrossFit gym. It's amazing. Right. But if you don't want to do that and you sit there with your arms crossed and you're like, why should I do the Open? I get the same bullshit when people ask me about why I should pay an affiliate fee. I was like, I am not here to convince you to join the community. You're either in or you're out. You either want to be a part of this or you don't. And if you don't, then don't. Please. I don't want to force you to do something you don't want to do while you punch holes in my walls on the way out the door. Just join us, make it better. All the things that you want to be better improves when everybody's doing the thing anyway. So just do the damn thing or don't. And then let's have some fun together when we all do.
Well, and I think that's been something that like over the years, I mean, this is, we've run the Open at Roots like every year that it's happened. It's hard to articulate like how the people that have consistently done the Open year after year, they're fitter. They're, and I mean fitter by, all of our standards. They have a better longevity in everything that we're doing. They get it. And I think when I think about like Roots, if we hadn't run the Open, I just get this like, honestly, like this like dead feeling inside me, like all these years of all the things that have just these little bricks, if you will, that people have stacked. And, you know, to your point, like you've been doing the open for 16 years, like not every year was your year.
Yeah.
Right. Just
anytime there's deadlift, not my year, right?
Just like, you know, not every year of your life is like the best year ever. And I don't know, there's just something really wonderful about over the years having all these athletes that have done this, and they now get to see it and what it's done year over year, and they get to talk to other athletes and be like, no, this is why we do it. But I think it's hard to really like put a finger on like what was the thing that made that happen. But I just, year over year, I look at the people that are doing the open, and they're better members, meaning like they're better to the people that come in. They bring an excitement. They bring a tremendous amount of understanding of like, yeah, I was there. I didn't have double unders. Oh yeah, I got my first pull up in the open, you know, like all these little things. And it just sort of wafts through your gym, and it becomes this like extension of what the gym was trying to do, because now all the athletes are like, oh yeah, I really want you to do the open. I don't know.
It just shows that they're bought in.
Yeah. Yes.
They're just bought into every part of it. And they, to your point earlier on, they know that that's part of the deal. And so I'm going to do this. And then they get to experience all the things we've already talked about, and how amazing that is, and how it continues to get better year after year, even if your scores don't necessarily get as much better as you want them to, right?
Rarely is it about the score.
Right.
And 99.9% of us.
And what's crazy about that is like early on, I'll tell you, for myself, it's like it was all about the score. And that's why I had the love-hate relationship with it. I hated it because I knew I wasn't as fit as I thought I should be. And like the open was the way that showed everybody, not that anybody looked, but showed me that I wasn't where I wanted to be or thought that I should be. And then as you go through this and continue to put yourself out there every year, you realize that that's okay. Even if you're not where you wanted to be or think that you should be, it's okay. It's 1 year. Let's see if we can be better next year or whatever. Facing the failure that comes with CrossFit in general, especially open, I think is as valuable and rewarding as anything else that you do with it. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah. And to that point too, I think it's interesting, like as people get older and do the open, like so many areas of their life become like pretty shored up. Like they have their career, they're pretty comfortable in their career. They're like, I know what I'm doing. They like, you know, parenting, they're like, okay, you know, I've had kids for a while. Like I kind of got this, like if there's that aspect, there's all these different things. And then you throw the open and it's like, wait, I thought I was like, I moved past this phase of my life. And I think it just really, there's like a really healthy grounding of just like having your shit together in terms of just, there's this awareness of like, it forces you back into that like uncomfortable phase in a way that I think in a lot of times as we age, we don't necessarily have that in our everyday life.
I love that. I love
and you're not willing to do that, right? How often do you pick up new skills in your 40s or 50s of like, let me be a beginner and look like an idiot doing something I've never done before, right? No one's willing to do that.
Yeah.
I did that 2 weeks ago. It was like a parent-son jujitsu class. He's like, hey, we want you guys to like learn what your kid's doing. I was like, cool. One drill, like the most basic drill. I was like, man, this is embarrassing. Like I'm
like, why do I feel so unathletic?
Yeah.
Like, no wonder the instructor looks at me and I'm like, Dylan, just do that. And he's like, do you have any idea how hard that simple thing is? And I was like, listen, I would like to apologize to you for the last 2.5 years of coaching you from the sideline when I have no idea what you're doing. But Nicole, I love your point with that because we do find our comfort zone. And it's more of like, hey, I'm 43. I've got kids. We're not having any more kids. You sure? And like,
sounds like another episode, another conversation for another time.
Now instead of like figuring out what to do is like, I'm digging roots, right? So when I start digging roots, I get more comfortable and confident what I'm doing every day. And what I find in the open is that my comfort level leading into the open is purely like circumstantial because I've chosen the comfortable path. Maybe like without my knowledge of just like training. It's like, I mean, I program for myself, so naturally, I'll just steer away from something. Unintentionally.
Oddly enough, it's the stuff I don't like very much, or aren't very good at.
Heavy show up in my programming, not very often, right? And so when the open comes, it's like, damn, I have totally like whether on purpose or not, done that. And the thing I would always tell new athletes or older athletes who maybe like used to play a sport or those that never had is like, I'm so nervous for this. And I go, and how awesome is that? Right. What a privilege it is to be nervous, scared about a workout. And the last time that happened to you, or there are some people that will walk through life avoiding this feeling and they have never got to experience this part of life. And the more you do it, it's that, like, the Open sets me on fire from an athlete perspective, from a community perspective, from an owner, from a programmer. I mean, there's been times I've been watching the Open in my gym. I was like, I have failed all of these people. Miserably, because
we didn't do this.
Like Dave put
something pops up.
I was like, son of a bitch, I have forgot that little stimulus window in it, and everybody suffered because of me. There's been years when that's happened, and I love it because the second you think you got it all figured out, life comes and smashes you in the face, whether you're ready for it or not. And a lot of times that's the Open, and I love that part of it. Is just like being exposed. I'm like, cool. Something new just popped up in my life that I thought I had it all figured out, and then I didn't.
I love the approach of just highlighting how awesome it is to be nervous. And just making it, flipping it around on its head and making it a positive thing. Like, good, you should be, and this is awesome. And I would imagine that this is a concept that carries on throughout the entire year as with your community, right? Because I think a problem a lot of owners have now currently, the common question, how do you get people to sign up? How do you get people excited for it?
For the Open?
For the Open, because it's now, right? Like, signups have opened and we're just now seeing people start talking about it, promoting it, and then their community doesn't necessarily want to do it. And there's a value to looking back and being like, well, what's happening for the rest of the year? What's the vibe that you have in your gym for the rest of the year? Is it's the only time that you're promoting putting scores on the board or being nervous or trying new things.
I'd say Open prep for getting people engaged is the other 49 weeks of the year.
For sure.
Not just the 3 weeks leading up to the Open.
It's not like a magic pill or conversation you can have mid-January that suddenly is going to get a buy-in from everybody.
I think one of the things that's super unique, and actually Souza made mention that he had been judging some of your reps yesterday, but not only, from my understanding, do you guys get a lot of participation with your athletes signing up, but you get a ton of people to take the judges course and do that. Tell us about that. How do you get that? I mean, that's next level buy-in.
I heard Nicole has a good challenge in your gym. I was talking to Craig.
Craig sent me that yesterday. That was nice of him. So we get a bunch of people to sign up. I got a little bit defensive, I guess, the other day. It's not about like how many people we get to sign up. Like, long before there was like the affiliate participation thing, I've gone back and looked, we had like 165 people signing up, right? The gym is a little smaller than this is like a decade ago. It was really rooted in just like, I don't want you to miss out on this experience. Right. And it was, and it's not like this number where I'm like, I want this percentage of all the members to sign up or whatever. It's more like, who have I not been able to talk to and have this like real one-on-one conversation to say like, have you considered why this would be fun, all this stuff. And good. But so a lot of people sign up. And then also, selfishly, I don't know why, but I was taking the judges course probably like 7 years ago. And I was like, every member should take this because it, like we talk about the GHD with the common vernacular, like it furthers this common language of this is, when I say toes to bar, this is another way of showing you why we teach it this way or why the rep counts or why it doesn't. And it wasn't always just about like what counts and what doesn't. It was more just having another method for people to learn about the movements that they do every single day. And so whether it's them learning that you stand the deadlift all the way up and like, oh, that's what it looks like. Okay, well, if they stand the deadlift up because they're like, oh, that's what actually counts, great. But if they stand the deadlift up, it's actually like making their back safer over the long run because they're coming off tension every time they stand it up. So it's like a win-win, however they process it. And so I threw it in as one of the Open challenges because we do this in Open. And so you get points for your team if you take the judges course. And so I think we had like 200 people take the judges course last year.
Damn.
And it makes the gym better. And I should film it one time. Like every year somebody comes and they're like, I took the judges course and like, I get what you mean now about like why my toes have to hit the bar. And it's like, I'm not making fun of the person or the people that say this. It's like, it's just another way that they're learning that resonated with them more than us, in class being like, okay, you got to get your toes to touch at the same time or whatever it is. And so I just think it makes the gym better. And it also holds us it helps us hold the standard that we want for how people are moving. Yeah, it's through the metric of what counts and what doesn't count, but there's a safety element in all of that as well, right? And so, yeah, so that's how we get people to do it is they earn points for their team.
That's cool.
It's been a little bit funny because I joked about this, but Jenny and I ended up filming the judges course last year, which let's just say we should hold auditions. I think they need like some younger talent for the judges course. So if anybody would like to send me their resume, but
you're taking open applications for next year's.
Exactly. I was like, Jenny and I were joking, like, how is it that they ended up with like the two like mid 40-year-olds for this task?
Hey, no, I think it's awesome. You guys do it as long as you possibly can do it. It's a true testament to the power of CrossFit. Okay.
It is, you guys, it is exhausting. Like, okay, so for this one, you're going to do the first 3 thrusters with full extension. The last one, bend the elbow a little bit. And then on the 8th one, don't go all the way down. And then 9 and 10, make them perfect, but hesitate a little bit on the 10th rep. And you're like,
got it.
After doing that all day after your 1000th rep of your thruster and all the rest of that stuff.
But anyways, yeah, so that's how we get people to sign up for the judges course. And I think I wrote an article about it. No, I know I did for .com about why we have our members take the judges course and ask them to do it. And again, it's another thing when we talk about community, it's really underlying like what's the culture of like what we do. And what we do here is like, we do expect quality of movement. We teach it, we enforce it, we scale it, we help people understand the why behind it. And the judges course is another way that for like $10, I can get all my members to have like a, hour-long education on a little bit more of like why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm. Nicole, I don't want to make an assumption here, but this comment, because I've seen this before too, getting the entire coaching staff to take the judges course. My assumption, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that you probably require your coaches to take the judges course.
Oh yeah, that's mandatory.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's required, although I don't really have to ask because it's just like, now I will say we pay for it for them, right? Like they work, they're our employees, like we expect them to do it. So we pay for their open registration and we pay for their judges course. But we kind of took a different approach, which, and I'll be honest, I know over the years, there's been different requirements on like how many people who has to be on the floor with the judges course and all that.
Yeah.
We just basically like everybody that's judging an athlete has to have the judges course. And now, so think about that though, like, okay, you run the open, we run it in every group class on Fridays. If you have, I don't know, I think 240 people sign up for the open last year, maybe, if 200 of them took the judges course, the quality of the open just goes up because the people that are there that are, you partner up with somebody and they're judging you. It just raises the level of what we're doing. But anyways, that was an aside. But so all the coaches have to have it because it's just what we do. But then also like, I mean, they are going to be on the floor. And if they're coaching that class, like they're the first stop, of it. And I'll be honest, like it's a team effort. I mean, like it is a team effort. And I don't say this negatively, but I say it honestly that, okay, everybody has to start with their back turned, right? Like how many affiliates? It's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And like, nobody's starting with their back
the
turned,
bar's
right?
off the ground and
Yeah, like all this stuff. And it's just like, if I expect somebody to squat below parallel 364 days a year, then, and that's what we're going to coach and that's what we're going to do. It's like, no, it trickles down to like, yeah, we're also going to expect that we start with our backs. That's what the paper says. And so, it's just a team effort. And so whether it's, the judges course or like whoever the 5:30 a.m. coaches are, they're really, they're reading all the rules and all that stuff to make sure that we're on the same page. Amy's really good at like, really going in like fine detail of like all the little things that could come up. And just, yeah. So it starts with the judges course, but yeah, everyone takes a judges course and we pay for it. And, judges course is a lot more friendly than it was, 9 years ago.
It's
without the double unders.
I think people still have a little PTSD from it, and like like push off taking it because of how frustrating it
Totally.
That's a good word.
You missed one of 20 questions. Start over.
Yes, but it's not
21 double unders counted.
I swear to God,
I
hate that question.
Yeah.
I'm like taking it over and over again. And here I am judging, I'm judging the finals at the CrossFit games, and I can't even pass this stupid online judges course. I'm like, I swear.
Video's hard.
Yeah.
Video's hard.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know, Nicole, obviously you get a ton of buy-in. It's great that every judge on the floor has taken the judges course, but what does coaching look like in your affiliate during the open? Obviously, there's multiple heats. There's a ton going on. So how do you guys navigate still coaching an effective class in that scenario? And what does that look like at Roots?
Yeah. So we run everything in 2 heats. So it looks like one preempting the open and saying, hey guys, when we do the open workouts in class, it's a lot tighter timeline and warm-up's going to be shorter. So we recommend you get here 10 minutes early and just sit on the bike. So we start with that. Not everyone can get there 10 minutes early, but I also think that sort of self-scales to the people that like want to come in and just do the workout, and the people that like want a little bit more warm up and to feel stuff out. Like they're going to choose whether they come in early. Yeah, exactly. But we put that out there. And then, a lot of it is what we would call the old setup, check and go. So like the warm up is really going to, hone in on getting everybody set up in the space, checking that they're all moving safely. So someone's not like, I'm going to do, RX, and you're like, okay, that's 80 pounds over your 1 rep max deadlift. Yeah, exactly. You're like, right. So making sure people are cornered into making a safe and correct decision. And then literally it's like, go, who's going first and all that. So like, from a coaching person. Yeah. So then
it sounds like it's more group management, right?
Yeah, it is. And
right.
It has to be, but I think this is where the standard that you've set, the coaching that you've done over the past 364 days, man, that should let you say like, yeah, if I only get people through the dumbbell snatch progression with 5 reps of each one, it's going to be okay, and people do move safely, and people are inherently navigating to, understanding the movement. They've done these before. Like all of these things play out. Like you've set your athletes up for success, not just in terms of that they're going to be successful in the open, but also that you can do it safely and efficiently. Like all the little things, like when you say group management, like just the little things about like how you've set up the classes, then when it comes to the open and you've created lanes, they're like, oh yeah, I've seen lanes before. Like, oh yeah, I know that I can't go to this pull-up bar because of this. Like it all really comes together, and it's not, a lot of it falls into place, just kind of nicely there, but you are relying a lot on, I kind of call it like the pandemic thing, right? Like our athletes, like during the pandemic, it's like they had such a good foundation that even though we were on Zoom and I'm like, let's go out a little lower, press that out a little bit. Like they were safe and they were great. And then we all came back together and we kept moving forward, but yeah, it's definitely heavy on the group management. And then, I'll say for the coaches that when they're coaching, when it's 3, 2, 1, go, we fall into head judge mode, right? Because we do want things to count and we want to do it correctly and do it right. And so, maybe someone's a little bit in their toes, when they're, I don't know, at the bottom of their front squat, but you look over and somebody's, moved their barbell and it's 2 feet from the rower. That's a bad example, but you know what I mean? Like they're changing that stuff. And making sure that people are doing it correctly for the standards that are set by the workout and the open stuff, more so than maybe like, hey, sit back a little bit more in your front squat. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I think to your point, it's like if you are coaching and teaching to the standards and making sure that everybody moves and hits depth in their squats and hits the target with the wall ball shot, it's just another day. And it's actually an easier workout in the sense that I don't have to count my own reps. I got somebody to count them for me. It's like the judges shouldn't be there taking reps away if all year long you coach your athletes to have good reps. Like as the coach, I should be the one walking by going, Chase, I need you lower in this thing throughout the year. So it's not a surprise when somebody's there and they've taken the judges course and they're watching, they're like, Chase, none of these count. And it's like, well, why am I shocked? Like, this is how I've been doing wall balls all year long. It's like, well, what am I, what are we doing if that's the case? Right.
That's an interesting one too. Like we really don't, and I mean this, we don't have instances, when people get offended by the open because the standard was something they weren't doing all year and then they can't get past it. Like we don't have that. Like it's not, because it is greased into their being in terms of how they're doing the reps all the time. And I think that's a really hard place for an athlete too, right? Like they haven't been told all year. And then somebody takes the judges course and they're like, oh, those don't count. And they're like, what? Right. That's just, that's hard. That's not fun.
Right.
I remember years ago, we had an athlete drop in to do a workout and I was the one judging and they weren't going below parallel and they weren't, pulling the bar back lock out and I'm, calling them on it. He was pretty frustrated. And then we saw he went to another gym a couple days later, redid the workout, and his score was way higher than when he did it at ours. And it's like,
well, maybe what he did is he went over to that other gym, and now that he knew what the standards were, he hit the standards.
I'm sure that's
probably what it was.
That's exactly
totally.
Now that you greased him up. But I was going to say, I've seen that same thing where you have people drop in.
Really?
A lot of people are traveling, and you're holding standards, and I'm like, make sure you enter your score. And we go by Drive Fitness. Our affiliate name is CrossFit DF. I make sure to write it for them, let them know. And I'm like, never showed up in my inbox to double check their score. It's crazy that you didn't enter it here. And
interesting. That's a really,
I don't know. Garage gymmers, people that just need to be in an affiliate to do it, to get a judge, will come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Something else I love about the other cool part about with all the people judging, like, cause we do 2 heats, you judge each other. Like, I think this one gets overlooked, but it brings it trickles down the credibility and the like common understanding of movements and standards when somebody else at the gym is like the one taking you through it. Like, I really love that part of it. And people also, you inevitably end up with like, oh, okay, Sarah, why don't you go judge Tom or whatever? And they're like, oh, I don't know him. And you're like, cool, great, go do it. I'll walk you through it. This be great. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty neat part to sort of extend the standard to your athletes to impose or influence, what do you want to call it? Judge for other members at your gym. I think it's a cool aspect.
And it probably goes back to, you were making mention before, your athletes that have signed up and taken part in the open, the ones that have been most bought in. Those are the ones that are so aware without the judges course that probably are there acting as coaches, even if they don't coach on the floor for you. Not only are they judging, but they're probably giving the tips that they've heard for years on how to make sure that the standards are being hit. And not only that, people are moving well and doing things right, because I'm sure they've heard it a number of times. So to your point of when the coach is now a head judge and logistically managing thing, well, each one of the individual judges is probably giving some pointers there, not only like counting the reps, but hey, push your knees out a little bit more. Hey, try to stay back in your heels. Like I'm sure you guys have seen that as much as
which
I
is
have.
not a requirement of the judge, everybody. However,
make sure
if you can slide it in, it's never a bad thing.
Cool.
Yeah, totally.
It's always one of those things that make you proud, right? Where it's like, hey, these guys know enough to be able to share that kind of stuff.
Kristen, you should try that at the games this year.
What's that?
You should like,
Just
you know, like when someone's
coaching?
like, yeah, like just like 4. Hey, try to push your knees out. It'll help. 5.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it is
in those thrusters. Hey,
like
send
you
your
have
butt
to,
back.
there is some compartmentalization there. Like you have to really turn your coaching brain off because there are so many times that you just want to coach them for like a little more efficiency in their movement. And it's just like, not my job, not my job.
Not your job. Totally.
You're making this
different
so
lane.
much harder on yourself. Yeah.
Right? Totally.
Yeah. It's so hard to move bad. Like it makes it so much more fatiguing. That's like when you demo, Nicole, when you did the demos, like I remember texting you when I saw you, I was like, how fun was this? Right. It was so exhausting to move this terribly.
That's actually, Jenny and I talked about that at length, actually. Just, you know, when we talk about efficiency of movement and why you do it, okay, there's safety, mechanical advantage, all these things, right? And then there's just the like, wow, people, when you're doing that, like that's so much energy.
Yeah.
It's just so much energy.
We finally understand what efficacy means.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Efficacy is like, well,
it's crazy.
Move like crap for 10 reps and tell me how fun that was.
Right? Exactly. It's an interesting experience. Or effort. Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting with the judges course, but I do think it gives a good, it gives the gym a lot more than just, okay, we've got, you know, we have a bunch of judges. Yeah.
Chase, where will you go to do the open this year? And will you be a part, like, will you
He's
just
coming
show
to
up and do
Roots.
the workout? Oh, you're going to fly in each and every week?
You going to a different location every
I don't know if I'm going to a different
week?
location. So I go to D-Town CrossFit. It's downtown Dallas. It's an amazing facility. It's owned by 2 incredible people. I'm actually competing with the owner this weekend.
Let's go
at TFX.
As a partner?
No. I'm stepping onto the competition floor against him.
Against
both
him.
in the 40 to 44 division.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've competed in 13 years.
That was going to be my next question. So you're coming
Tell me, are we going Captain? Is Captain America? Are we going high socks?
Listen, I'm packing them.
Dude,
that would be
packing them.
I'm packing them. Yes, I have no lofty goals or aspirations. My main goal that I've constantly been having with my wife is don't get hurt.
Okay.
Because I have my biggest strength as just an athlete in general is like I am not worried. Like self-preservation is never at top of mind for me, which has always been an advantage. But then as my body starts to age, it is also a disadvantage because dumb athlete brain and then old body,
physical body
sometimes are not aligned, right? It's like I can make that, but my knees are like, are you sure? It's like, I'll let you know when you land. I'm like, all right.
But you are in the old division, right?
Yes.
So they're going to account for that with the programming, maybe.
Yes. This was the best part. There's an event, and if anybody knows any history about my competitive career, which nobody should because it was this long.
I mean, yeah, but there was just a recent short documentary that came out, so it's fresh in most
Not
of
that anybody should have ever watched that, but 315 deadlifts are my nemesis.
Your wheelhouse.
Total wheelhouse, right? There's a reason
box jumps. That one in box jumps, is that right?
There's a reason why I'm not a 3-time CrossFit Games individual athlete is because a 350-pound deadlift decided not to do that 2 other times. So there's an event that has that program, and I was like, son of a bitch, of course. And I was like, wait, I'm 40. And I scroll down, it's like 40 to 44, 275.
Oh,
like,
yes.
There we go. There we go.
So now old man Chase gets some scaled weights and I can have a little bit of fun.
275 is realistic. That's a good challenge. That's a good challenge. I think that's appropriate.
And that's this coming weekend? Like in a couple of days from now?
When we get off this podcast, I am driving. Like I'm leaving after we're done here. And so, yeah, it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night, we're having, so I'm an affiliate rep. So I work for CrossFit HQ, which I guess I'm supposed to say at the top of the show that anything I do or say is not necessarily endorsed by. I've had a few HR meetings where
we're good.
Wait, is not necessarily endorsed by CrossFit
HQ
or by you?
I mean, technically, we're all CrossFit employees.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
To varying degrees, right?
I doubt any of you guys have been called into some one-on-one meetings where I should probably preface at the start of that being said,
not yet, but
amazing.
Yeah, I'm an affiliate rep, and I run the South Central as far as the affiliates, and I have my first gathering of affiliate owners. So we tried to do these little sideshow pockets of it's like, hey, we're going to be here this weekend for a couple of hours. Owners, coaches, whoever you want to bring, let's just come hang out and just like socialize and fellowship and just roundtable some things together. And I'm doing that on Friday night after I compete during the day. And we have, I would say the ones I did last year, about 15 to 30 of these, because they're small. They're not grandiose. It's not like we were at the SAP Center last weekend with, in California, right? That's a lot different. There's 150 people coming on Friday night at TFX. I actually am more nervous about that than I am
in the competition.
But even more so is I reached out to Don Fall, the CEO of CrossFit. I was like, hey, I would love for you to come to this. I haven't asked you to do any of these. And Don Fall is coming as well. So,
very cool.
Wow.
And
That's
Don
cool.
Fall will be running an affiliate gathering it's in Taylor, Texas. We'll say Austin, Texas, Friday night at TFX for a couple of hours. We'll stick around as long as people want to hang out. And so I'm really excited to compete. I'm excited to compete with the owner of D-Town, Ken Williams, him and his wife, Jessica. They actually own, I think, 4 or 5 gyms in the DFW area.
Wow.
Let's go.
These guys they're doing it. I don't know how they do that, but they do it beautifully. So I'll be doing it at D-Town. I might round table like their little corporation of affiliates in the area, but it's the gym that got me back into the affiliate. So in 2023, I had shoulder surgery right before the open. So I did 1 rep of everything that I could do with 1 arm, but then I would do like the upper extremity adaptive version.
Okay.
And I got my ass handed to me.
Isn't that crazy?
My ass, like not even, I was like, where am I on page 1? I was like, or 2 or 3. I was like, page 75. Cool.
Humbling, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was in the garage
really
for a couple of years feeling sorry for myself. And then in 2024, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to D-Town. A lot of my old members go there. A lot of my old coaches go there. I showed up there and I've never looked back. It's the gym that got me back in the affiliate, and I owe everything to those guys because it helped me at a time of which, and it's not like I had this ailment of anything. I was just unmotivated and undisciplined, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and it brought me back. So D-Town CrossFit is where I go, and that's where I'll be doing the open.
That's
Sweet.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just a good reminder of how powerful the affiliates are too, right? You can have all the equipment in your garage. You can have all the knowledge and the know-how, and
I have everything I need.
Yes.
Except
but it is so hard to convince yourself to do it unless you're around other people. In fact, I sold all of my garage gym equipment because I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, if I work out at home, I run and I do air squats and push-ups. Like if I want to actually work out, I go to my affiliate, which is,
I bitch out hard. I get on the C2 bike, which is the most like pansy piece of equipment ever made for anyone.
That is true. That is true.
So
I don't even have to move my arms.
Yes.
Put it on a 2, just 30 minutes.
Zone 2. Yeah. Get your zone 2.
So true.
All right. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, awesome. This has been fun. So you're going to be there this weekend. Where else can people find you?
I'm the co-host of Talk Elite Fitness. If anybody wants to find me there, we do a weekly show.
This shows how dialed in I am to all the CrossFit podcasts, you guys.
But
Todd's constantly like, "Did you hear this?" I'm like, "I didn't. I need to start listening to more CrossFit."
Jane's got real tan.
Real tan. Yeah.
I co-host Get With The Programming with the wonderful Bill Grundler. I also have the privilege of hosting the Sport of Fitness podcast, which is back. And every once in a while, James Hobart allows me to crash the CrossFit podcast every once in a while. So that's where you can find
any exciting topics or guests on the CrossFit Games podcast coming up.
Yes.
In light of the open.
I am super pumped about this. So Me and James have drafted fantasy teams.
Where did I go? Where did you guys pick me?
So, you know what? I will say this is that the team makeup is a male, female games athlete.
Wait, this is for the Open. You've created
for the Open.
teams?
Yeah, this is created. So it's me,
Okay.
it's Team Chase versus Team James.
Okay.
And we have something on the line, which I really hope I win because I don't want to do this. Is a male, female games athlete, which we've already picked. So I picked Colton Mertens and Lucy Campbell.
Okay.
He picked Austin Hatfield and Miriam Von Rohr, which I was like, damn, that's a good pick. Then we picked a male and female affiliate owner that couldn't have competed individually at the CrossFit Games.
Okay.
And James picked Kevin Schutz out of Coda CrossFit. They're
local to where he's at.
Yeah, local to where he's at. I think they just hosted the Randy thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, in Colorado.
They have multiple locations too.
Yeah, Coda Iron View. Usually they're in Oklahoma. And Shelly Newman? I can't remember what it's his team. I shouldn't know it's it. And then I picked Tucker McLemore. He owns Razor Edge CrossFit here in Flower Mound. And Marissa Flowers, who just opened CrossFit KTX, who has the unofficial world record of Fran. But Denise Thomas said a couple of her reps didn't count. So she may do it.
Probably add 2 minutes for that at least.
The other problem is that I'm on my own team and James is on our own team. And they're all head to head. So it's like my male athlete versus his. Whoever wins gets a point. Me and James.
You and James. Okay.
And then every week after the Open announcement, we pick one male and one female we think will perform best. So we have 7 people on our teams, head to head, total points at the end of 3 weeks wins. The loser has to complete the ultimate mile challenge. You guys know what the ultimate mile challenge is?
No, that's
unless
not
it has donuts, unless it has beers, beer mile, donut mile, or
I suggested beer mile.
Is this the hot chili? Like I heard something else.
No, yeah. Good God, James,
I hope it's not that mile.
Terrible. It's a 400-meter burpee broad jump, 400-meter walking lunge,
like a lunge,
400-meter bear crawl, and a 400-meter run.
That sounds devastating.
So we have our
devastating, oddly intriguing. I mean, do you remember the old 400? That was an old
400-meter walking
400-meter lunges.
At March.
And then you had to do like thrusters every time you dropped it or something like
that.
No, it's just I did lunge.
Yeah,
that one's I don't remember what that one is.
Yeah.
The first time I did the 400-meter walking lunge, we had a barbell on our back, and it was like every 5 reps you had to do something with it. I can't remember. It was one of those you mentally are like, I'm literally never going to finish this workout. So the ultimate mile sounds
terrible. Interesting.
Now, do all the people on your team know that they're on your team? Did they?
I told them after.
Okay.
I was like, hey.
Just to let you know,
just in case,
I'm really relying on you to do well in all of the open workouts. No pressure.
I text. It was funny. I got 2 different responses. I text Colton. I was like, "Hey, I just picked you as my number 1 pick." He's like, "Who am I going against?" It's like Hatfield. He goes, "Done." I was like,
Nice.
"Sweet." I like your comments. Then I text Lucy Campbell. I was like, "Hey, I drafted you on my team." She's like, "Who am I going against?" I was like, Miriam Von Rohr. She goes, "Enjoy 0 points." Because Miriam's won the Open 2 years in a row. So
geez. Yeah, that's tough.
I was like, just get her once. Come on, just give me one. And I'll try to beat James once. I haven't beat James in the Open since 2011.
He's got altitude, you've got a little bit of an edge.
That's true.
Unless
he travels to do to work at sea level.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Then then I don't know what to tell you.
We got a lot on the line. It's basically the Sport of Fitness podcast versus the CrossFit podcast.
Are you going to stream it? Like, are you going to stream your workouts live?
Is Denise going to judge you?
Ooh. Yeah. No. I will. And the thing that I've done lately, the last couple of years, is I will video it and post it. Of my open workout. So I'll definitely keep that going. I'll video my workout. I'll post my workout. I usually post it and then we run it live and I just like talk during it with Bill. I'm just like, here's where.
Cool.
Oh, I took a knee on the ground. This isn't good. This isn't good.
How I was feeling.
I think one time during.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I think at one time I sat. It was the. I think it was a quarterfinal workout where it's like 50 wall ball shots, 50 burpees over a box for 3 rounds.
Oh, yes. I remember.
And I would do like 5 burpees and I'd sit on the box. Bill's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm sitting on a box, Bill.
I did that. What wasn't it was either an open or a quarterfinal that had like 135-pound thrusters and rope climbs at the end of it. Was that?
Oh, that was
yeah.
That was not an open workout.
Yeah, not an
That
open.
was a yeah.
Or something like that. I did the same thing. I
Yes.
pulled a box over to sit on in between my long rested sets of.
That's where you say it's all part of the strategy. It's part of the strategy.
Yes, yeah.
I've got a game.
Wouldn't that be great if at the games you could elect to get a box in your lane to sit on?
Can I have 6 risers, please?
It's
like, what?
I'm gonna need a minute.
So much fun. All right. Nicole, what about you? If people want to learn more about how you guys do the open, I've actually got your article around the judges course. I'm going to drop in the chat here. People can see.
Oh, sweet.
But anywhere else to learn how Roots does it?
Yeah, the judges course one, there's one in there about the open in general. I try and find that one. But I think also if you go to Roots, years ago we got asked to do this because we run the intramural open, and people are always like, well, how do I run the intramural open? So we actually packaged all the documents that we put to your use to run it, and it's got everything from like how we plan it, how we do the intramural scoring, how we get people to sign up, all that good stuff. And you can go to affiliate resources at CrossFitRoots.com, and that'll lead you through all of that. I think it's called, let's see, what's the name of it? It's in there. How to run an intramural open kit. Nice. So people have used that over the years because they are just looking for like, okay, I want to run the intramural open, but I'm not really sure how to do it. And I think you guys had something about like the open doesn't have to be exhausting or whatever. And this was a lot of our effort for that, because once you get, like a system in place for like, this is what we do this month, and then this and this, then it's less overwhelming.
It's not quite as bad.
No, that'll be really helpful for a lot of people. And you said you can find that on the CrossFit Roots website.
Yeah, CrossFit Roots on the website, on the homepage, it just says affiliate resources, and there's lots of different stuff there that people use and helps their affiliate in some way or another, we think.
I'm sure.
We think. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this was fun as always.
This was fun. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you. Good luck in the open.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll talk to you next time.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.